Imagine moving into a boarding school where your roommate is from another continent and you barely understand each other. That first week at UWC Robert Bosch College is nothing like you'd expect.
One, two, three, four.
Hello and welcome to a new episode of the Brief Podcast. Today we have a wonderful guest, Nick, who is going to tell us all about how he got into UWC and what it takes to be here. Nick, thank you very much for being here.
Thank you for having me today.
Of course. And that means that your first day at the college here is usually quite unforgettable. First time it's a new country, a new city, a new state, new roommates, new cultures. And sometimes you can't really understand people speaking your own language. So let's talk about those first impressions that you had when you first came in. You must have had the idea first come in, oh, the college might be like this, it might be like that. But what was it actually stepping into the college and settling into it gradually?
Well, I remember when I arrived here, my parents drove me here by car, which I'm really thankful for. And I arrived here and it was super warm. The day was super hot. I think it was like 30 degrees. And I was super nervous when I arrived. So I stepped out of the car and then I went to the welcome desk and everyone just greeted me. And I was like, this was such a new experience to me. Like when everybody's greeting you, although they don't know you, right? And then I got my room. And one of my roommates already arrived, and he was super nice to me. And it was such a moment for me. Then, like I didn't know what to expect from roommates, you know.
Yeah.
And then just coming to room and being welcomed by one, it was just so nice. And then my other roommate arrived after, and it was just such a nice experience at all. And the day was very overwhelming for me because we didn't have a schedule that day, the first day arrival day, but you meet so many new people and you socialize a lot. And you get to know so many different cultures, so many different people. It's so diverse here. And I didn't expect it to be that intense, but not the bad intense, but the good intense, you know? And I really, really enjoyed it. But the I didn't expect it to be that intense. But, you know.
Yeah. I think those situations kind of usually result in the most learning that you do. And they also result in some funny or awkward misunderstandings that can happen. So would you recall a memory that you thought, okay, this is the first time I've experienced this, or like a culture shock, or like a moment of awkwardness or funny that you encountered when you first came into the school?
So for me, what I didn't expect to be that different, like the different cultures, was when I was in Mensa, so in our cafeteria, and we were eating dinner, and then I saw a few people leaving food aside, and I was asking myself, because I was raised, don't leave food aside, because then it might see like, oh, the food didn't taste good, right? But then I asked them, and they said, oh, it's in our culture, it's polite to leave food aside on the table a bit, on the plate a bit, and that's what we do. And I was like, wow, I didn't know that about these different cultures, and that was like something unexpected that day. Yeah.
So would you say there was something that you found necessarily difficult at the start, but turned out to be easy? Because when you first come in here, it takes a lot of energy to, of course, socialize, get to know everyone, and know your way around campus. And you also encounter a lot of challenges.
Yeah, so I have actually two things when thinking about the question. The first thing was the socializing part, because personally would say, or also before coming to RBC, I was a very social person, but the intensity of the social life here is completely different, and I think I completely underestimated it. So the first few weeks were on like social life. It was pretty intense and pretty sometimes even a bit hard. But in general, it was a very nice experience. But it was nothing compared to before, because you meet 100 new people, or actually 200 new people, and it's just a very intense feeling. And also, what I found in the beginning a bit difficult, but now not anymore, was when sleeping at night with roommates in the room.
Yeah.
People might snore, people might sleep talk. So I found it a bit difficult in the beginning, but I got used to it very fast, and it's just no problem for me anymore.
So what would you say is like your best memory, your best part living with a lot of people here together now?
I mean, the best part would also be for my room, because we used to have a lot of roomie times where you just get into one's corner and eat snacks, drink some tea or coffee. No, just tea. And also just having the chat with them, or just watching a movie. And I think that's so different when you live together with people, with 25 people in a house. It's sometimes very challenging because you might get into a fight or something like this. But in the end, I think from my first year, what I learned is that it's a really valuable thing to have roomies, because you can talk to them whenever whenever you want. If you need anything, you can rely on them. At least that was my experience in my room. Um, and yeah, I just loved our roomie times.
That is very nice. Because most people imagine like boarding school like the movies, And at UWC, it's quite similar to that. You got teachers living on campus. Dorms are full of surprises, great or bad surprises, and things happen that you usually wouldn't see anywhere else. Well, thank you so much for sharing your story with us, Nick.
Thank you.
If you're thinking about applying to UWC or just curious about what life is here, check out our other episodes where we go deeper into each part of the journey. And as always, don't forget to subscribe, and we'll see you in the next one. Nick, thank you again for joining us.